Hey guys, it is NCSFan001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list updates. Today's date is Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. So this will cover the week, well actually multiple week period of December the 2nd through December the 16th of 2024. So of course I was quite busy this last week as I was out of the country on vacation. It was a wonderful vacation as always, had a lot of fun with my family, ate a lot of good food, got a ton of sun, and burnt the literal crap out of my left shoulder. It's currently peeling, but that's okay. Anyway, beyond all of that though, there was at least a little bit of trophy progress made, and I am happy with the progress that was made during that short period of time where I was playing. So, first and foremost out of this list, well actually, let's see, Dead Rising 2 off the record, I don't think I played that week. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So the last time was... No, wait, hang on. 12-3? So I did play Dead Rising 2 during that time period. Okay, so never mind. So I did play that. But first things first, Astro Bot has actually received another DLC. It's a free DLC with only 3 trophies. They're all very easy. They can be completed in under half an hour. So I will be completing this on a future stream, though not a stream dedicated to this. It'll be just, either start out the stream or end the stream with this while going off and playing something else. So it's a pretty easy DLC, but I'll look a little bit more into it when we, get around to that. Also, Fallout 76, I don't think is going to have any, new DLC trophies or anything, but they have released some of the, I guess you could say, sort of roadmap for what's upcoming with that game. Let's see if I can find it in here. So, over the next few months, over the next 6 months, we're getting the Ghoul update at the beginning of 2025, which is exciting. Get to play as a Ghoul and have all sorts of Ghoul perk cards and stuff. I'm almost positive that one's going to get DLC trophies. Then there's also going to be a fishing update next year. Though surprisingly, none of the Camp Pet stuff actually got any just random DLC trophies or anything like that, but I'm sure that there will be more. And I'm still banking on the fact that I'm almost positive there's going to be a massive Enclave update someday, because there's 2 main factions left in Fallout 76 that haven't really ever been brought back in any capacity. One of them's the Free States, and they brought back all these other small factions as well, so I could see the Free States coming back, though I think they're the less likely of the 2. However, there is 100% a possibility, and I think it's very likely that we're going to end up getting an Enclave DLC as a major expansion, probably toward the end of the game's life cycle. Maybe even something to tie into whatever Fallout 5 is going to be, when it releases 30 or 40 years from now. So, in terms of actual trophy progress, it was made in 4 total games. So the first one was Dead Rising 2 off the record on PS4. So, with this one, if it decides to load anytime soon, there it goes. So, I didn't get a lot of trophies during that time period, so I still have to do the PP stickers and the co-op trophies. I haven't done any of the co-op trophies yet, but I can go ahead and find a partner now that I'm, able to be playing the game again, so hopefully can start looking at that. But I did start working on the sandbox mode. So in the sandbox mode, basically you run around, you have 30 different challenges you can do in single player, as well as 30 slightly different ones you can do in co-op. And you have to get a gold medal on every single one of them. So far, I've finished gold medals on about 7 of the single player challenges. And I obviously haven't started any of the co-op stuff yet, but I'm going to get a whole bunch of my remaining trophies through that. I'm going to be probably trying to stream the rest of the single-player stuff, the rest of the single-player challenges, but it's very unlikely that I'm going to be streaming any of the co-op stuff because, I just need to be able to get on whenever and, work on that whenever I get the chance, because I just want to get that done sooner rather than later, because, it's online trophies. And of course, I'm not going to show the entire grinding toward 100,000 zombies. Probably when I get to 80,000 zombies or something is when I can get back onto a stream and finish this game off as my last trophy. But I did also get 2,000 PP from a single zombie kill. You do this one using the boomstick combo card. Pretty straightforward. Then I collected a grand total of 50 combo cards, which there are over 70 of them in the game. You can get them by finding them throughout the whole open world. You can get them by leveling up and from finishing challenges in Sandbox, so pretty easy to do. Unlocking all the skill moves you'll get by hitting level 50, so nothing much to worry about there. Or, maybe it's not level 50 specifically, but I'm pretty close to level 50 at this point. I don't think there's a trophy specifically for that this time around. So then I still, of course, have the 5 Psychopaths in co-op. I have 1 miscellaneous trophy here, which I need to double-check exactly the best way to do this one. And then finally, I got the 2 worst trophies in the game that are sort of full-blown entire playthrough types of trophies. So Pure Wall isn't really that hard in reality. Because, yeah, not eating any meat, dairy, or alcohol does cut out a lot of your options, but you can drink all the orange juice you want, and you can drink all the combo drinks you want. So because of that, it makes this trophy relatively easy overall. By far the most obnoxious and just pointless trophy in this game, though, I don't know if I'd necessarily say most obnoxious, but it's definitely the most pointless trophy in the game. And it's this one, Alpha vs. Omega. Denise is one of the first people you come across in this game, and for some reason they decided that you need to collect her at the beginning of the game and then go through the entire rest of the game without having her die or turn on you or accidentally enter the safe house. It's extremely tedious. It's not that it's all that difficult, because if you give her a gun and have the leadership magazine or whatever it's called and consistently have healing items for both yourself and her, it's not that hard. It's just so tedious and just so pointless. And the survivors in this game are so stupid because they'll just get grabbed and then get slowly eaten to death, and it gets really annoying. Not to mention I found out the hard way, though thankfully I had a save from before it just in case things went wrong, that when you go into case 6-1, I believe it is, it's the one with the helicopter battle, you have to leave everyone pretty much as far away from the area as possible so that they don't accidentally get brought to the safe house at the end. But yeah, that's how Off the Record's going. Definitely can continue working on that game this week. Hopefully I can find a co-op partner very soon and get started on that. Next up, Minecraft on the PS4. We actually got a completely random DLC trophy. Not even necessarily a DLC pack, but just one singular DLC trophy. I have no idea why they released this at the beginning of December. They usually only release these in like June and July, and it's only one trophy. So I really don't understand that, but I'm sure that there's trophy worlds for it by now, like realms or whatever they're called. But at the same time, there was a method listed on PSN Profiles, and it was in the forums. You could just go onto a specific world on peaceful mode and just go knock it out within a few minutes that way, which is what I ended up doing. So huge thanks to whoever made that post on PSN Profiles. Made this trophy very easy, but it's just kind of, why? Why is it a... Just why? Just why? Anyways, the next big game that I started on was LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga for the PS4. Like I said previously, I have a bit of an itch to play a LEGO game because it has been a very long time. The last one I played was LEGO Batman 2, and that was probably a solid year ago, and that game was really fun. Don't get me wrong, that was actually one of the more fun LEGO games I've played in recent memory. But prior to that, I think the only other major one I had really played, I played a couple of those like mini ones like Lego Brawls and stuff that only take like an hour or less. But the last big one I played before that was Skywalker Saga on PS5, I believe. And I like Skywalker Saga. I know that that's probably not the most common or popular opinion, but I really like this game. I love the PS5 version of the game. And it's actually been a lot of fun to get started on playing it again. Now, yes, I know it's a massive grind overall, and it's not a game that I'm doing as a trophy video or anything like that. It's just one that I'm going to play casually, both on my own, and probably whenever I don't have anything else that I really want to stream on certain days, it will make for a very solid streamable game. So far in the game, I've finished episode 1, so you get like a fifth of your trophies, about a fifth of your trophies just by beating the game entirely, all the story missions. Then you have to finish all the events on every planet, of which there are many, many hundreds of events, as well as like 18 or something total planets. Then achieve True Jedi on a single level. That's just fill the stud meter. That's very self-explanatory. You're going to have to do it for every level anyway. You have to finish all 3 level challenges in a single level, which you'll probably get naturally just by playing through the game, but you have to do all of them anyway for the 100% trophies. And then I haven't gotten all the mini-kits in a single level. This game only has 5 mini-kits per level, which is kind of nice. And this game, it's interesting because even though it's such a big game, the levels are usually pretty short. And they all have 3 challenges and 5 mini-kits in the stud meter to get in them. So it's a little bit surprising that the levels aren't a little bit longer in this one. But I guess it's not that big a deal. I mean, you have a million other things you can do in this game anyway. You have to fully upgrade all the classes. You have to collect all the data cards and the Kyber bricks. 1,000 is not actually the maximum number. There's actually 1,200 total. So you can miss quite a few, except that I don't think you can because I'm pretty sure there's a 100% trophy in here. At least I assume that there is, or is there not a specific 100% trophy? Completing all the events is basically like a 100% trophy. Is there seriously not a 100% trophy in this game, or did I walk past it? Huh. So there's not a specific trophy that requires 100% in this one, which is a little bit surprising. But I mean, you basically have to 100% it outside of, I think you can skip a few of the Kyber bricks from some of the ship-to-ship battles, and that's really about it, because that's like DLC or something. One or two of those was DLC. Complete all the racing missions, all of the 10 like big galactic challenges. This was the last trophy I got on the PS5 version. It took me quite a while to make it work, but it eventually worked. This one, you can just wrap up pretty quickly at the end if you don't get it naturally. Earning 17,000 studs is extremely easy. It's probably the first trophy a lot of people are going to get. 10 billion studs is quite a few, but of course, once you get your multipliers, it's nothing too bad. Destroying TIE fighters, there's specific levels you can do this on, shouldn't be too much of a problem. 3 enemies at the same time with an explosion I actually got by accident, but it looks like most players just end up getting this one naturally as well. Shooting off helmets should come naturally just by playing through the game, creating the disguises. I can't really remember exactly how you do this, but I don't remember it being too much of a problem. The combat multiplier of 30 is basically unmissable. You're going to get this one very early on. This is just a specific type of mission you have to do on a specific planet. This one, the Gonk escort missions are all over the galaxy. There's a whole bunch of them. So they just take quite a while because the Gonk droids are super slow moving. And then finally complete a flight level without dying. I actually got this one by accident, not even remembering that it was a trophy, so that was kind of nice. So apparently it's not that difficult, which is always a good thing. So yeah, LEGO Star Wars, this one's going to be a fun one to work on over time whenever I have the chance. And I'm definitely looking forward to playing more of it, because like I said, I'm one of those people that definitely enjoyed the PS5 version, even with how grindy it got to be at times. Not to mention, some of my most viewed and most successful streams of all time come from the PS5 version. So I know that was more because the game had come out fairly recently at that point in time. But even the first stream that I did of this one did reasonably well, so I'm actually definitely looking forward to playing some more of this and definitely streaming more of it. Just a nice, fun, casual game I can play. I can answer questions and talk to chat throughout the process. Don't have to think a whole lot about it, which is really nice. So yeah, definitely a positive here. And then, the big boy completion of the last couple of weeks was the second DLC for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on PS5, aka Call of Duty Black Ops 6 for the PS5. I have finished the DLC, 100%ed this game, and it's yet another Call of Duty game off the list. There's only 5 left now. Advanced Warfare on PS3, which has a very slight chance of being done someday, but not very likely at all. Black Ops 3 on the PS3, which is unobtainable and will never be obtainable again. Black Ops 4 on PS4, because that's quite simply never going to happen unless it became way more easily boostable. Black Ops Declassified, which is going to happen probably sometime pretty early on in 2025. I kind of wanted to do it this year, but then, got delayed with all this other kind of stuff happening and games to play and stuff like that. And then, of course, there's the PS4 version of Black Ops 6, but I'm not going to be doing that one just yet because of some bugged trophy issues, which I'll get to here in a second. So complete the campaign on any difficulty and complete it on Veteran. As always, just complete the campaign on Veteran. This one is a little bit harder than some of the more recent Call of Duties. I'd say it's definitely up there more with something like Modern Warfare 2 2022, or prior to that, I'd say it's probably about the hardest one we've had since World War II. And that one was only kind of challenging at times because of the whole health pack system. So I would say this one can be challenging at times because you die really quickly, but once I sort of figured out how all the equipment and stuff works, it makes it a lot easier. Finish all 11 campaign missions on any difficulty to get all of those bronze trophies, so that is pretty self-explanatory for a Call of Duty game. Then we have our mission-specific trophies, and most of them were actually pretty easy this time around. Most of them I got through in like 1 or 2 tries without really any major issues. I actually did this one blindly on the first night the game came out, just playing it, and managed to actually pull it off pretty much just by accident, so it actually wasn't that difficult. And this was on Veteran as well, so I'm actually proud of myself for doing something successfully for once. Then Most Wanted, the 5 takedowns. This one took a couple of tries because it's fairly easy to get spotted if you're not careful, but once you're a little bit more actually careful and actually pay attention, it's nothing too bad. This one was really annoying to do on Veteran just because this is probably the longest mission in Call of Duty history. It's very close to it if it isn't. It's got to be up there, though, because it's just massive how many open world objectives you have to do. I would probably say you might want to do this one on Recruit, just because otherwise it's going to take absolutely forever to do on Veteran. I was on this mission for a good, like, 2.5, maybe 3 hours total on Veteran in order to get this trophy, which I got it, but it was kind of tough in the process. This one's very easy if you know how to do it. You just have to hack a certain terminal and give a specific command to it. It's actually pretty easy. This one took me 2 tries. I got it first try on Recruit with no problem, but on Veteran I didn't quite pull it off. I was trying to, but I was a little bit short on it because your own tank doesn't have the most health in the world when you're on Veteran, so it's a little bit tougher to do on that difficulty. Did this one first try on Veteran. It's pretty easy. Just grab the 2 RCXDs after softening up the APC with some other weapons, and you should be good to go. Purchasing all the upgrades is not particularly difficult because you can farm all the money you need in just a few minutes in, I think it's the Cradle mission. It's like the 4th or 5th mission in the game. So just farm a little bit of money there, and you can farm like over $600 a minute, so it's not really all that big a deal. It just takes a little bit of time. The safe house puzzles, there's a long list of 7 or 8 or 9 puzzles. As long as you follow a guide, there's nothing really difficult to deal with that. Then this one is actually quite easy. I got it sort of by accident while playing earlier on in the game. So just get a double kill with a remote throwing knife from far away. You'll probably get this one naturally on Veteran just because of how powerful the weapon is. And then this one I went back and did on Recruit on the final mission of the game. It was the easiest place to do it because you get attacked by a whole bunch of enemies right at the beginning of that mission checkmate, so it's a great place to knock it out. And then you have 10 takedowns in campaign. This one's super easy. You should get this one naturally because you'll be using takedowns in quite a few of the missions that are stealth-based. 5 kills with a single score streak. You should get this one naturally during that hunting ground or that giant mission, whatever you want to call it. And then we get to the other trophies. So prestiging once is very straightforward. This carries over between zombies and multiplayer, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. Mastery badge just requires you to get like a whole bunch of kills with specific weapons or with any one weapon to get this one, so nothing really to worry about. The opal camos are much easier to get unless you're a big multiplayer person because you can work on them while going for all of the more grindy zombies trophies or the more difficult zombies trophies. So definitely easier just to do the opal camo for the shotguns. It's nothing particularly challenging on it, just takes a little bit of time, but it should come naturally while going for the augments. Then you have 500 eliminations. That is very self-explanatory. Kill 500 enemies in multiplayer. There's really nothing else that needs to be said about that. Same with winning multiplayer matches. We're going to come back to Rush Hour here in a second. Get featured in the best play 3 times. Of course, this is extremely, extremely random and luck-based. And even when it feels like you probably should be getting the best play, you might still not get it because the game just wants to be evil and rude and not nice to you. Which is how it felt for me, but I did eventually get 3 of them done, so it wasn't as horrible as I was expecting it to be. Training course is super easy. It only takes a few minutes. Just knock that out early on in the game. This one you have to be a level 50-something to be able to do it, so it takes a little while to get there, but otherwise it's pretty easy to do. And then this trophy, the 50 aerial score streaks, this one can be a little bit buggy because sometimes it doesn't count if you don't get certain medals, but just keep repeating it against basically just the spy planes is your best option, or UAVs, whatever they're called, is definitely your best option in this game. And then this one's super, super easy because you just have to get 3 perks of the same color and put them together, and you'll get the combat specialty perk, then get 75 kills while that's equipped. It's nothing difficult. So back to the little RCXD trophy. This trophy has been broken since the release of Season 1. It has been broken for over a month now, and there seems to be no intent on fixing it anytime soon. Now, apparently, it's not the trophy that's bugged, it's the medal that's required to unlock this one that isn't working and hasn't been working. And it's actually not a PlayStation exclusive issue for once. It's actually multi-platform, so Xbox and Steam are also having the same issues, so at least it's not exclusive to us for once, but it is definitely a major issue, and Activision seems to have no interest in actually fixing it because they haven't addressed it at all. It should be a super simple fix, but they're either too lazy to do it or just don't care and don't plan on fixing it at all. They better fix it or else they're going to start getting the Better Business Bureau stuff coming in, which I will say might always be an option if a developer won't fix something that they really should, just saying. It's worked for me with getting my internet fixed one time, but that's a story for another day, which I've talked about before on streams. Then we have our Terminus trophies. So on Terminus, you have the Easter egg, which I actually did in directed mode. It was a little bit tough, but I did it on either my first or second try on directed, so it really wasn't too hard. This one's super easy. I did it first try. And then this one took me a few tries because you can't do it in directed mode. It took me a few tries to figure out exactly how it worked and how to get the first key or whatever you have to find. But once I got it, it wasn't too bad. Once I figured it out, it wasn't really too hard. Then you have your trophies for Liberty Falls. The Easter egg in Liberty Falls is not particularly hard, especially compared to Terminus, but it definitely would have been easier in directed mode. But as you can see from the day I got the trophy, I think I actually got the trophy like the day before directed mode released. So I'm actually proud of myself for finishing an Easter egg that quickly, even though obviously I was following guides the whole time. Then the supervillain side, this one's really easy. It's just a trophy that requires you to use the jet gun to suck up some statues around the map. Then this one gave me a significant amount of trouble, and I'm not surprised that it's, rarer than the Easter egg is, because the bowling minigame just doesn't work particularly well, and it just doesn't always feel like it's scoring you fairly. And unfortunately, this is one I'm going to have to redo on the PS4 version because it doesn't auto-pop. Speaking of that, most of the multiplayer trophies auto-pop after doing each action one more time. I believe some of the zombies trophies do the same. And the augment trophy, thank God, does auto-pop. So, yeah, that's a big time save. 100 kills using the mutant injections is very easy. This one should come naturally. The 100 elite zombie kills, this one only counts if you get the medals for them, so it can take a little bit longer than it might seem like, but it's either the three-headed monsters, so those are the abominations, or whatever the enemies are on Terminus, and I'm sure that there's a new one on Citadel de Mor, or whatever the new map is called, which I'm very surprised didn't get trophies of its own. I'm actually quite surprised about that, so I guess that we're officially done now, knock on wood, with getting, legitimate DLC trophies for Call of Duty games. I mean, yeah, Call of Duty games are going to continue to be DLC on PS5, but I guess that we're actually finally done with, that version of DLC, so I guess that's kind of nice. The Augments is a massive, massive, and pointless grind. It takes absolutely forever to get 10 unlocked. It is much easier if you have double XP active. But apparently people are saying that this trophy is now bugged, which is wonderful. Now, it seems that it might have something to do with people accidentally getting progress and completing augments that were DLC focused, and they may only work with non-DLC ones, and that may be a big part of the problem. But I don't think it's the only issue. I think other people are reporting other issues with this one, so just be aware that several of the trophies in this game are bugged, and you may not want to start it right now until they get it all fixed. And as much as I'd like to go ahead and start knocking out Black Ops 6's PS4 version, I don't really want to do it while I know that several of the trophies are broken, and I don't know if they're ever going to get fixed or when they're going to get fixed if they do. So yeah, it's a real shame. I mean, Treyarch's usually better about getting stuff fixed. They got the Personal Decorator trophy in Black Ops 3 fixed within like a week or two of people finding out it was broken, which, I mean, it still took like a month before anyone figured out it was broken because it took anyone like a month to even get the trophy or get to that point in the first place because it's so grindy. But anyways, let's go ahead and sync up our trophies. Okay, that took quite a while. Level 884, 90%, 29,543 total trophies, 847 platinums, 5,648 golds, 7,949 silvers, 15,099 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. Well, now that I'm back, I can start playing games and streaming again. So, of course, this week, the major focuses are going to be Astrobots DLC, which will take all of, 20 minutes, so it's not a big deal. Dead Rising 2 off the record, which I'm going to start looking for a co-op partner. And when I don't want to play that, I can play some LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Those are the main goals right now. I need to work my way through Dead Rising 2 so I can set it up to be Platinum number 850 because it'll be a solid milestone. Now, I don't really know what other games I'm going to do before that, but I do have quite a few just, quicker, easier, cheaper games lined up. So I can always just knock out one or two quick, easy platinums as needed. I actually got a new Gamefly game that could be interesting to stream. because it's another kids game, and I'm assuming that it's going to be very easy because of that, so that could be kind of fun. Take a guess at it in the comments if you wish. But schedule for this week, I know they got pushed back a day because I got in kind of late on Sunday, which I was expecting, so that's why I decided to push things back a day. Probably not going to be streaming on Wednesday just because I'm going to a movie that night. Then hopefully going to be streaming like Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday. And then after that, I'll be headed home for Christmas, and I'll be at home all of next week, so I don't know exactly what schedule will look like that week either. There will definitely be videos and stuff. Hopefully I can finally get started working on the Fallout 4 trophy video, because I just haven't had the time to work on it between, Clock Tower coming out and then going on vacation, so I just haven't had time to start on it. But I definitely want to get started on that and at least make a good bit of progress on it over the next week or so and get it closer to being released, because I have quite a few games I need to make videos for right now, so that's definitely going to be a bit of a priority. But yeah, other than that, just working on LEGO Star Wars and Dead Rising 2 off the record and knocking out that Astrobot DLC, and that's basically going to be it. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave me a like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you haven't done so already. Let me know down in the comments what you guys have been working on these last couple weeks. And, oh yeah, I almost forgot I've got some interesting work stuff to share, because apparently PTO means absolutely nothing to Adam the Asshole and the rest of the company, but more on that during some future streams. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys back here within the next few days for some more content.